A wild bunch. A wild bunch of God. A wild bunch of God. Hey, dear. You got here just on time. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we got turkey sandwiches just for you. They're in a, if you want to get her one early, I can show you where. You're hungry already? Maureen, there's a silver tray. Happy Mother's Day. There's a silver tray in there. You'll see it. It's on the table that's against the back wall. Thank you. Thank you. And you could get. And here's the youth church. Yay! So we have a little one. And Maureen, wherever she wants to be is cool. She loves to visit in there. She might want to spend some time.
You gonna let her know?
Amber, my daughter Maureen, you remember.
She's right there.
And my granddaughter Phoebe. This is Miss Amber. And Miss Amber brought her children, Hayden and Ella. Okay.
Oh, it's big now. It wasn't big before. How did it become big?
Good morning.
Hello.
Hi, God. So good to see you. Happy Mother's Day. Today, we are celebrating the mother God, or the mother aspect of God that is found in every man and woman. That love that is written of in Scripture. God is love, 1 John. So we welcome that love in you to shine on this Mother's Day. There are many paths to God, and we do honor whatever path you have been on. You are the divine in expression today. And boy, do we have a Mother's Day service for you. We welcome back the CSL Singers, Tom Tarver, Pat Favaron, Trina Smith, Bill Jones, Reverend Larrye-Marie Heyl, who is going to deliver our message and join her CSL Singers. So without further ado, let us start. Jude's gonna start us off with a round on the heart of the mother. So Jude, tell us how it's gonna work, please.
We're just gonna sing the first melody and the second melody. Whoever sings the second melody while the first one's going on, we're getting around.
When do we come in?
Get around, you get around. You got it? Lyrics are up there, and they have sheets to help us. All right. Elizabeth is signing. I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. I am one with the heart of the I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria, praise I am one with the heart of the mother. I am one with the heart of love. I am one with the heart of the Father. I am one with God. Ave Maria,
special and warm welcome to Melanie Barze, who for her first time as platform assisting, will you all hold her in love? She is a mama, and we do bless her. Morning, Melanie. Microphone.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Melanie.
Let us all greet each other in our welcome blessing. We love you.
We
We
bless
bless
you.
you.
We behold the Christ in you. Who you are makes
Makes
a
a
difference.
difference in our lives. Also, let us join in our statement of being. Unity's first principle. There is only one presence, one power, one intelligence, active as the universe and as my life. God, the good, omnipotent. Thank you.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Thank you for the love expressed, the love received. And now we take a moment. I'd ask Laurie Edwards to light the Christ candle. We take a moment to open our service in prayer. Love is our decision. Song is prayer. Our thoughts are prayers. Our words are prayers. And unity was founded on prayer. So we take a moment to drop our attention from our heads to our hearts, feeling that connection, life. With mothers, there come children. With children, there come voices. So we take a moment to send out that love to the little ones. To the little one in us. There is a child in every one of us waiting to be loved. There is a mother in every one of us waiting to love. The mother God in you, man, woman, child, is budding, is opening up, surrendering, knowing that as you feel that love in your heart space, it enlarges until your cup runneth over and your body can no longer contain that love. Every cell, every organ of you is filled with love. Your cup spilleth over. We send this love, this light, these prayers out into our community of Greater Baton Rouge, across the state borders of Louisiana, into our United States. We continue expanding, pouring out this love from sea to shining sea and across the seas. We see every country, every continent in love. We lift up all beings of earth, seeing them with the eyes of the Christ, our eyes, together joined in prayer. And beyond our earth, we send this love to the sun, the moon, the stars, as we feel it reflected back to us. So we come back across the seas, into the states, into our community, into our sanctuary. We lift each other in this sanctuary in love. And we send love to all of those who are on our hearts and minds. And I invite you to take a moment to call to mind those who you lift with a personal thought, a personal prayer. Lift them as you whisper their names into the sanctuary or into the hallways of your mind. Especially our moms today. We send out a special ray of love, whether our moms are still here or they have made their transition, put on the cloak of invisibility. We send a ray of love out to them. And as we close this prayer time, remember there are prayer request forms in the seat back pockets in front of you or in the baskets under your chair, and you're welcome to fill out one of those prayer request forms. Our prayer chaplains pray over them for 30 days and then send them to silent unity where the prayers continue. And so returning our attention to this outer sanctuary, we have a tradition here where we share a memory, a story, a message of our mom on Mother's Day. I want to share a story about my mom, who at a certain point in her, about midway in life, she developed a real love for wigs. She loved her hair pieces, small wig, partial wig, or her wigs. The thing was, she often did not get it on straight. So her head would be tilted all day long. So that phrase, get your head on right, has special meaning to me. And Mom, I do send you my love. Anybody else want to share a story now or later? We'll be asking at certain parts of the service, Laura.
I lost my mother when I was 5 years old to lung and throat cancer by secondhand smoke. She was not a smoker. But anyway, I was blessed to have a very strong early memory. So I pretty much remember every day with her, starting at 3 years old and even a few before that. So I consider that because they were good memories. I was able to remember things about her, like reading Christmas stories and then making Christmas cookies late in the night. Of course, I thought it was late in the night. It was probably 8 o'clock. But that love of stories and reading, and my first trip to the library, which was even downtown back then and had one of those rolling ladders way back then, and then Goodwood Library, and all of that has factored into my love of reading, my career of 32 years in education and library, and of course then my children's love of reading and my grandchildren's love of reading has really cemented from her beginnings that she planted in us. So I'm glad to have good memories of my mom.
Thank you, Laura. That's from the library lady. I know that's her email address is library lady. So I'm going to turn the mics back over to the CSL Singers, and you have a story.
I'm going to tell a little
Reverend
story before we sing. I was the baker in my house, and so when my mom was having a party, I offered to make a lemon dobosh cake. So I had the cake all made and it sliced it into thin layers and had this filling made. And I was young and impatient. And you're supposed to put the cake in the refrigerator for 30 minutes between each layer. I didn't think it needed 30 minutes. So I'm on the last layer and my mom's coming through and the cake is starting to slide. And I'm now in tears. She got out her fruit compost bowl, beautiful crystal bowl, sliced the cake, put it in the bowl, and said, no problem, it's not a disaster here, and called it Larry's disaster cake. I think that was the first time that I realized that she taught me that we can just shift our thinking and make joy out of disasters. So this is our time for meditation. So I'm just going to invite you to settle into your seat and forget anything that's gotten you to this moment right here and just let go of the past, forget about the future, and just settle into the now.
Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart's song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you.
So we take a deep, nourishing breath. We just settle into this place where we can truly listen to our heart song. That place within us that knows only love. That knows that when we quiet our mind, we hear the voice of spirit. So we take this time to just relax into the arm of the divine, to allow ourselves to be nurtured, to be loved by that divine mother love, allowing any healing that needs to occur to happen right here and right now, and allowing ourselves to know and feel love. And so we return now to this time and place, leaving that time with the divine, and yet basking in that feeling of being nurtured, of being loved, releasing anything that needs to be released, and returning fully into relaxing in the essence of our being, which is love. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song.
I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. Listen, listen, listen to my heart song. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you. I will never forget you. I will never forsake you.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day. It's great to see all of you this morning. Lovely to have the CSL Singers with us today. Thank you so much. And Reverend Larry, appreciate having you here. Today's phrase is Mother's Blessings. And the affirmation for today is, I bless all mothers everywhere. The word mother brings to mind love, gentleness, nurturance, and compassion. Even if I did not experience these qualities from the woman who gave me life, I give thanks for them in everyone who has inspired me and touched my life. My mother and everyone who has blessed me with the mother's care, I send you love. I say a prayer of thanks for your presence in my life, for the sacrifices you made to give me the opportunity to grow and to learn. You taught me the power of love and gentleness and the strength found in giving. You taught me above all to be true to myself. You are a leader who has taught me to lead by example. I send you thoughts of infinite love and peace as I join with others in gratitude and joy today. And from Proverbs chapter 31, verse 26, she opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue.
And as the CSL Singers get ready for their next song, any more Mother's Day story, message? Debbie Barnett, tell us.
Well, what came to my mind was a really sweet memory because my mom has advanced Alzheimer's, so she's not the same as she used to be. And it just popped in my mind of this exchange we had back when I was in junior high. We had moved to Mercer Island, Washington. My mom was not a swimmer, and I discovered accidentally that she had started slalom skiing, water skiing. And I just happened to say, Mom, you might want to learn to swim. It's 65 feet deep right off our dock. So it was a fun memory.
Thank you, Debbie. Anybody else with a Mom's Day? Oh, Isaiah, here you go. Do you know something?
It's pretty short, simple, sweet. It goes back to the idea of, our mother showing us the idea of kindness, and giving. It was just one day, my mom she had got two little cakes from, this cake shop called, Nothing But Bunts. I really always been wanting to go there and try the cakes. And she only had two of them, two little small ones. And I looked over and I'm like, oh, you stopped by Nothing But Bunts? And she knew that I had wanted one. Like I think she was gifted them maybe, or she stopped by. But she knew that I wanted one and just immediately offered me. And I was like, oh, what? You only have two of these little things. And she was like, well, no, I like to see my child happy. And that gave me that showed me the idea of giving and the joy that comes with giving, being selfless.
Very sweet. Thank you. And Isaiah's mom happens to be here in the audience. I'm going to ask that you hold that for just 1 minute because we're going to have the CSL Singers sing, and then we're going to come back to doing this when they're ready.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry run away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love, there is only love.
heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, I go inside and quiet my mind. I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
And I know this voice of love, it is singing through my life. It is all I am, every part of me. It's all I choose to be.
There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
Reverend Larry prepares to come up and share with us architecture of a mother's love. Let us give her a warm welcome.
Well, I know you've heard it, but I want to say Happy Mother's Day again to every mother, every adopted mother, every wannabe mother, those living in a male body, to anyone who's mothered expertly, and those of us who sometimes fail miserably. It's a blessed role, isn't it? It's a complicated role, and it brings love and joy, pain and suffering. It's definitely not for the faint of heart. Once you've had a child, you're a mother for life. So it is one of the highest callings, I think, of the most sacred. So today we just bless our mothers. We love and appreciate them, even if we don't know exactly how to express that. I want to recognize too that Mother's Day can be a bit of a mixed bag. Some people weren't as fortunate as I was to have a mother who taught me how to love and shift my thinking and live in joy. But it's the power of an earthly mother's love that brought us into being. So I'm sensitive to the fact that there may be some things that could be healed. And I'm hoping through this service today, you might get a chance to take a look at how some of those things could be healed. But as usual, I brought a question for the week. What's the one choice that you can make today to fully embrace the nurturing of a mother's love and to use your own love to nurture, to create, and to heal? So if we're going to fully embrace a mother's love, our talk today is the architecture of a mother's love. And if you've traveled at all, you probably are aware that architecture varies widely around the world. Think about the Eiffel Tower. And then there's the Guggenheim Museum in New York. Well, we might not have all the photos. It's okay. The Taj Mahal, just you can probably picture some of these. The pyramids in Egypt. There's the dancing house in Prague and the Acropolis in Athens. There's Westminster Abbey. I'm sure you've probably seen pictures of these along the way. The Colosseum in Rome, the Acropolis, the Casa Mia in Barcelona, the Lotus Temple in New Delhi, or how about Angkor Wat in Cambodia, the Sistine Chapel in Vatican City, the Sydney Opera House. I'm sure that you're getting views of some of these in your head, and our White House in our own capital. And let's not forget that Leaning Tower of Pisa. So I think you would agree that if you thought of some of those, that there are many, many styles of architecture. And the process varies for architecture about how the building is going to come about. One of the things is the foundation. Hey, they didn't quite get that right on the Leaning Tower. The designer has a lot to do with how that particular building looks. And I think that when we think about different architectures, we also, when we think about the architecture of our mother's love, we know that in some way, whatever foundation she gave us, whether it was doing the best she could, which you might not have thought was very good, or you might have thought was wonderful, like I did with my mother, that it shaped us in some way. Would you agree with that? It shaped your life. It made you who you were. Because there's many ways that a mother shows love to her children. And I want to tell you a story, and this is a true one. It's from the book called The Architecture of All Abundance. And it was written by Lenedra Carroll, who was the mother of the pop star Jewel. And the story goes like this. The little girl was sitting in a pew and she watched the woman come into church and sit right next to her with her baby. The baby was snuggled in this soft white blanket and dressed in this beautiful white gown. And as the lady cradled her, the lady's dark black hair came over the blanket and the baby began to fuss. And of course, the mother started rocking the baby and going, shh, shh, shh. But what Lenedra noticed as this little girl was that she was so gentle with the baby. And as she was watching this, it came into her mind that that's what she wanted. She wanted someone to hold her just like that. And so for a long time, she sat there pretending she was the baby because it was a place that was safe and warm and loving. And I recognize that this sense of being completely enveloped in the protection and love and a safe blanket, and that sense of being loved so gently, we all crave that. Every one of us, whether we be a little girl or a grown woman or a little boy or a grown man, we crave that sense of love and protection. So today I want to talk about the critical role that motherhood plays, that the Divine Mother plays in us understanding that right within us is all that love and security and warmth, always ready for us to tap into it. So what I know is Charles Fillmore said that if we would draw to us love, we must be love. So if we want to express and to feel that love within us, we have to be love. Now I'm going to start by saying that we all of us, owe our mothers a deep, heartfelt thank you. Even Galinda, born of the wicked witch of the West. She said once, I had a mother like so many people do. That was her comment about her mother. Some school-age children one time were asked, why did God make mothers? Here's some of the responses. She's the only one who knows where the Scotch tape is. Mostly to clean the house. Think about it. It's the best way to get more people. The most insightful one I liked, to help us out of there when we're getting born. So wherever your mother was on the continuum of wonderfully loving all the time or pretty much ignored you all the time, it doesn't matter. Because in this circle of life, I think it's important that we recognize our mothers brought us into the world. Now, I had a friend that used to say, my mother always reminded me, I brought you into the world and I can take you out. We're not going there today. But I think we do owe our mothers a thank you. And I think sometimes that we might forget to thank them often enough. So what if instead of feeling like we owed them a thank you, we gave it freely? I'd like you to just close your eyes for just a moment, if you don't mind doing that. And in the silence of your heart, whether your mom is on this planet or not, send them out a thank you from your heart. And as you keep your eyes closed, what if again we stepped up spiritually and put on our big spiritual shoes and we chose to accept all of our mother, all of her gifts, all of her flaws, and that we right now celebrated her gifts and forgave her for any flaws and simply loved her. I recognize that might have been difficult for some of you. Open your eyes now. It's not difficult for me because I was very fortunate with my mom. But Mother Teresa had a book called Do It Anyway. And there was a really important line that I think we could remember today. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self-centered. Love them anyway. So let's love our mothers on this day anyway, whoever they were, whatever happened with them. And I want to expand this concept today to the divine feminine, to that broader experience of our earthly mothers. Because I think it would be a grave injustice on this Mother's Day if we didn't look at the feminine principle of God, if we didn't look at that divine mother, that universal womb of nature, because that is the creative, the receptive, the unconditional love that lives within us. That love that's within us, that it can allow us to nurture and to heal and to love no matter what. When we tap in to that universal love within, it doesn't matter what's happening. It doesn't matter how someone's treating us. We can be in that mode of letting go of fears and letting go of anxieties and letting go of all of our expectations that didn't get met and just loving. Because that divine mother is always attending to her children. We have freedom to express ourselves, freedom to choose the rocky road, which is what my son loved to do. He would choose the hardest path he could. Free choice, you can't, at certain ages, you really can't tell your kids anything. You become pretty dumb as a parent. And then all of a sudden, you're a really, really wise person. But, at some point, like the mother bird, we have to let the bird fly out of their nest But the nice thing about the cosmic mother, the divine mother, is that we can always come back to the nest. They don't care. They're not going to send us out of the nest forever because there's that unconditional love. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said this: the conclusion is always the same. Love is the most powerful energy of the world. I think most of us believe that. And there's a story about Buddha and the bandit that I think is a lovely story. This bandit comes into the garden where the Buddha's praying and he says, I am a ferocious bandit and I plan to kill you. And the Buddha looks up and says, well, then I'm certain that you wouldn't mind granting me 2 wishes. And you can just see the bandit rolling his eyes and saying, okay, get on with it. And he says, what's your first wish? And the Buddha says, see that little sapling? Cut off the smallest branch. The bandit's thinking, okay, wields his sword, cuts off the branch, falls on the ground. And he says, okay, what's your second wish? The Buddha goes up and he picks up the little branch and he says, put it back. Put it back. The thing about love is it never destroys. It only nurtures. It only creates. So it's said that the bandit got enlightened that day and actually understood why he had been so angry, because he had been living not from the place of love, that place which is the grandest healing and drawing power on earth. I love that in Ernest Holmes there's this really short line that says that love is the sole impulse for creation. Love is the sole impulse for creation. It's the power to create life. Fillmore also said that pure love is without discriminating power. It simply pours itself out upon the object of its affection and takes no account of the results. So I think on this Mother's Day, it can be a chance for each of us to consciously connect and reconnect with that divine principle. There's another story about dog has kittens for lunch. I don't know if any of you heard this, but there was a shelter in Iowa, and this old dog, Lily, had been brought in from this farm. She was pregnant. She had all these babies. They all got adopted. And right after all the babies were adopted, a whole litter of kittens came in without a mom. Well, of course, the lady in the shelter thinks we can't bottle feed all of these kittens. That's going to be ridiculous. So she had a thought. Well, she brought them to Lily, and Lily had the kittens for lunch and dinner and breakfast. She took care of them, and when one of them fell in her water bowl, she just retrieved it and took it to safety. But it's not the only, it's interesting that as you look, there's a lot of different animals that took care of. There was a goat that raised a horse. The one that I think is the most amazing when I was looking for some of these was that there was a leopard, and he had killed a baboon and unwittingly made an orphan out of the baboon's baby. Well, the baboon's baby was crying, and instead of making the baby an appetizer, the leopard sat down and mothered it. So why do animals have so much grace? And why is it that we as humans don't take that as a sign of how we can instinctively behave and mother each other, whether we're of the same nature or not? Because when we nurture and we love, we bring that sense of the essence of who we are to life. Lynette Carroll, who was the little girl in the story, said this: love, in truth, simply is. It's the essence of the life force surrounding us. It's what allows everything to have cohesion. Love is both our birthright and our legacy. This is my favorite line. Love is the original blueprint of our soul. Can you imagine if we were talking about the architecture of life and the architecture of a mother's love, if love is the original blueprint of our soul? And from that foundation, we're built, not on some rocky foundation, not on some thing like the Leaning Tower of Pisa they are shoring up, but on the stone and the essence of love. You know, when you're afraid or when you're feeling anxious or when you're feeling like you want to help a hurting friend, we can tap into that love that's within us. When you notice someone having a hard day, I think that we all want to make it easier for them. And we do that because love is the blueprint of our soul. Because in our essence, the architecture of our love is right within us, that divine mother, that nurturing creative power. Now, as I was saying at the beginning, architectures are very diverse. And so I would like us to deepen that love that is the soul impulse for building our lives, to build our lives on that foundation of our love, which we know is the blueprint. So did we take our blueprints and build our lives on them? Or have we gotten so far away from that blueprint that was supposed to be the structure of our lives that we're not living from that place of love? Or maybe you took your blueprint and there's part of you that really knows how to love and part of you that just is unhappy in life. I invite you, if you've built your structure and have something on it that you don't like, have a different thought, like I was talking about earlier. Think in a different way. Instead of a disaster cake, you can have a really pretty bowl of lemon dobosh. So, I want to remind you to fully embrace the nurturing of a mother's love and to use your own love to heal those places within you that may need healing, to nurture those places that maybe are stuck back when you were little because you didn't get nurtured the way the little girl in the pew was wanting to get nurtured and was really wishing she could get nurtured. Allow that love that's within you to heal anything that is not from the blueprint of your soul, which is love. Because when you can do that, what I know is that we feel alive in the world and we can create a life that's filled with love and joy and happiness. It is a choice. So take a choice of what architecture you would like to bring into your life and do it this week. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Oh boy. Thank you. As Melanie comes up, that was just a wonderful, yes, when we can love ourselves, giving that nurturing mother's love to ourselves, we know that we are on the right path.
Thank you so much, Reverend Larry. Now we take a moment to put our consciousness into the divine flow by practicing the law of circulation. Knowing to give is to receive. We open ourselves to all the blessings raining down on us through the windows of heaven. We're not passing the basket. However, you are welcome to come up to the offering plate here on the platform or at the back door of the sanctuary. If you can donate from home, please use the donate button on our website, unitybatonrouge.com, and weekly email. Let us also join in our offering affirmation. Please join me.
Divine love
through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. Thank you, God.
Hello. In a mother's love, you will find everything. Everything's alright. To a mother's love, you are bound. You can rest on sacred ground. In a mother's love, you are free to dream. Because she sees what you can be. In a mother's love, you see the sun, enough for two. But you are one. In a mother's love, you can feel when something hurts. You can heal. Yes, a mother's love is real. You grow because she knows to let you go. Yeah, mama. A mother's love, yeah. Alright. Mama, mama, mama. Yeah. A mother's love, yeah. Alright. And a mother's love never lies. She believes you can fly with all her might. mother's love. Oh yeah, hey yeah, yeah, yeah. Happy Mother's Day.
Now let us bless the offering. We see these tithes going out to support our mission. As we affirm, Unity of Baton Rouge is a diverse, growing, thriving, healing community of wisdom, love, support, and serve. So it is.
Announcements while someone checks to see if there are children in the back that can come out and join us, please. All right, do we have any May birthdays? We were light on May birthdays. Yes, last her mom, Cindy's mom and dad. We only caught her mom last time, so and Debbie Barnett, you can remain in your seat. You can come forward, whatever works for you. We're not demanding. Our birthday present to you is we're going to bless you. And I happen to know that someone in the back who's coming forth has a May birthday. So we have Debbie Barnett, we have Maureen Wall-Laborde who's coming, and who else? All right, let me start with a couple of announcements while we're ushering. Here we are with the children. Potluck, stay for potluck after service. Come on in, children, and we're going to begin potluck with a story about Ken's mom. So do join us for potluck. Come on up and share what you all been up to.
We're on lesson 280 in A Course in Miracles, and the lesson is, what limits can I lay upon God's Son?
The power we chose was faith, the ability to believe, integrate, and perceive.
Woo! Yes, yes, yes. And I somehow, with all of my foibles as a mother, managed to raise a daughter who is loving and kind and beautiful. And now she's raising her daughter, who is creating lots of love in the sanctuary. Let us stand, join hands, and sing our peace song, When You Are Ready. I'm going to try and get the words up on the screen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, we're a family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.